Hey guys, Psychic Pictures here, and welcome back to more Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 1, Onikakushi, the final episode for Halloween. So, let's load up and see what's going to happen. As soon as the club activities were finished, Rena flew off, probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Rena would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Oh, right, Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. Over there, you know, at the damn construction site? Did something happen there long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the dam reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly, as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators. And as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders? None. She promptly cut me off. The same as Rena had. Her words signaled the end of the discussion. Tomitaki-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later, see you tomorrow. Ki-chan, you can't wash that off until you get home. Got it? I got it, I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Damn you, Mion. You shall rue this day. If our rules are ever reversed, I'm going to slop it on. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scorching pad? Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear, "Welcome home, Kiichi. Dad is in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay? He can't come up with a new idea? It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work as well. Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Mayabaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house? The theme of the piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motive. That's quite a bothersome motive. Kiichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Now, come on, please don't use my room as the motive. Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just take a walk and so I don't aggravate him further. Well, I guess I will then. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. So I got on my bike and I pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here at Hinamizawa creep me out. If Miono or Toko ever found out about that, I smiled really. Oh yeah, Rena was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the dam construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the dam construction site. Tomitaki-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. I spotted Rena struggling up the slope of the garbage pile. Blech. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitaki-san wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey, Rena, looks like you're working up a sweat. Whoa, Keiichi-kun! What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see, she was aware of it, at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where's the injured party? Huh? Accident? Huh? But there was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Huh? Oh, that. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. You came for me? How? When I filled my quota for the day. Well, I filled my quota for the day. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, huh? What part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So where is Colonel Sanders? Sorry. Can't you see him in that gap? He's really buried in there. Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him in. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders! So cute! There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, though, I should be able to take this one home. How? If Rena give up on this Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Rena's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Rena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, then there would be nothing that could be done. Keiichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help. You'd just get in the way, so stay back. Pulling out straps, bending them, tossing them aside. I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed. If I was going to do this seriously, I'd need an axe or saw or something. That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I was just doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. Rena began sputtering and turned beet red. Whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Rena patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rena took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rena was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. That was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. There were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. If it was just Tomitaki-san said, if it was just as Tomitaki-san said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There is no end to these sickening incidents. There is a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened up the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Rena had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened, without a doubt. As long as Tomitaki-san wasn't lying, then if both Rena and Mion... yeah, there was! If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rena nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching. Murdered by dismemberment. Here it is. The featured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rena could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as it happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was, the assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cavalier into 6 pieces, the head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally, a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes. That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter. A brutal murder. Done by a group of people. With hatchets. With pickaxes. With an axe. Ah! Eek! Sorry. Did I startle you? Rena dropped the axe she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. Keiichi-kun, you see, earlier, you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? So then, I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry. I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. There. No. I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow. Alright? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Higurashi, When They Cry. You have received new tips. There. Special tabloid report in the Hinamizawa Dam project. One man's trash. Achievement unlocked. Alright. So, let's continue on. The function of this school was an educational facility is very questionable. Our PE class is exceptionally disorganized. The only things we do together are the warm-ups at the start. The teacher isn't even there after that. All we do is play together. No helping it. Everybody is a different age or gender. The only rule is that we have to stay on school grounds while exercising. all the little kids were gallivanting about. Well, they certainly are being active. They might be getting plenty of exercise, but the Board of Education probably completely forgot about this school. Sorry to keep you waiting. We're all together now. What shall we do today for PE? Alright. We have all our members gathered now. Now then, class representative, what shall we do for PE today? What shall we do? Mion harumphed and crossed her arms hauntedly, surveying the area. Explosive power and endurance. There are no friends in the world of sports. Everyone is a rival. The only thing you can trust in is your own body. What the heck do you mean by that? You really read too much manga. I quipped without missing a beat. And so we'll be taking a lesson from history. The tried and true king of all outdoor melee events. Let's play tag! It was quite the adorable choice to make after playing it up so much. Just what I was hoping for. That dunderhead Keiichi-san shall be the first one to be it. I won't be beaten. I'll try my best too. You can't beat me. Why are you guys all so into it? The third rule of our society. You must partake in the game without enjoying it without question. Then this counts as a club activity? Everyone smirked at each other. They all seemed pretty confident. I'm a man. Physically, I should be able to keep up with any girls my age. Regardless, Mion and Satoko looked like they were aiming for victory when Rena was looking at me as if pitying my disadvantage. Fine. Tag! I'm in! My yell echoed across the school grounds. These were the rules. Anyone who was able to evade being tagged before the bell was a winner. But we didn't switch who was it. The ones who were tagged by it also became it. So the number of people who were it could increase exponentially. The end game would become a hellish siege. They call the version we're playing here zombie tag. You see? I see. Anyone infected by a zombie turns into a zombie. Why do you make it sound so scary, I wonder? As soon as I catch Rena, I'm going to tear out her entrails while she's still alive. Gross, Keiichi-kun, that's gross! Rika-chan patted her hand on Rena's head as she panicked. Don't worry, before Keiichi gobbles you down, I'll eat you up gently. Rika, that isn't comforting at all. Both Mion and I nodded deeply. So, the first it. How do you decide who's the zombie? With rock, paper, scissors? Well, it is class time after all. Let's decide by answering questions. I'll ask the questions, and the one who isn't able to answer is the zombie. I have no idea what grade level they're coming from. What does the Japan word roko mean? Huh? I was bewildered by the sudden question. Mion repeated it. So you need to answer. What's roko in English? Ruku in English. It's 6. How about Kutsushita? Socks! What's the third last letter in the alphabet? It's X! What does seibetsu mean? Of course, I know what that is. Sit. Satoko cut herself off before finishing the answer. I see, it's quite a lewd question. You're an adult, aren't you? Of course you know what it is, right? I certainly do. Of course I know. Then go ahead and say it. That, you know? That. What does that mean exactly? Oh, Satoko looks like she's in trouble. How cute! Don't take her home. It's a crime. If I didn't nip it in the butt, she really might have tried to take her home. Mion's pursuit was relentless, making Satoko stammer. Stammer? Yeah. Now then, go ahead and say it, nice and loudly. What does that mean? I do know. Sit. That means a person, thing, idea, action, or event which has been previously indicated in context. Huh? All of us were a bit surprised by Rika-chan's unexpected answer. I see. Well, it certainly is what that means. That could have been awkward. I wonder what I would have done in Satoko's position. I'd probably get ticked off and just blurt out, "You know what?" at the top of my lungs. I wouldn't want you as an enemy, Mion Sonozaki. Thank goodness you were born a girl. If you were a boy, you'd probably be a perverted asshole. It appears I have no choice. Unfortunately, I, Satoko Hojo, shall assume the role of the zombie. I shall eat everyone. Seems like she's raring to go. All I must do is count to 100, correct? Some jerks skip numbers while counting to 100, so you can start chasing after you solve this problem. Whoa, Keiichi-kun! You give her a simple one, okay? 1/5 of a cake, 1/6 of a cake, and 1/7 of a cake are all on a plate. Oh no! There are no common denominators? Satoko grabbed a stick in a panic and began drawing a cake in fractions on the ground. If Satoko, who can eat one cake in 60 seconds, eats all of them, how many cakes are left on the plate? Just as I finished giving the word problem, Mion shouted, "Ready? Go!" On Mion's signal, everyone but Satoko scattered. Hey, Keiichi-kun, that wasn't a problem at all, was it? Satoko had already lost the moment she started working it out. She's eating it all, so of course there's nothing left on the plate. Everyone dashed off in a direction that they thought was best. Knowing that the lay of the land, they probably headed right to the best spots. It was obvious I was at a disadvantage. At a time like this, it would have been more effective to go along with those trained in survival skills, like Mion, for example. The fact that I didn't realize it at the start of the game probably hurt my chances. Glancing back over the school grounds, I saw Satoko just rising up to start. She was really mad. She got tripped up on such a dumb question. I stood at one of the corners of the school. I had clear sight lines in two directions and would probably have a good response time if any zombies started closing in. For the time being, I caught my breath and focused on what I was trained to think during the club activities yesterday. Now think calmly, Keiichi Mayabara. If I was it, what would I do? Increasing my numbers would be the shortcut to victory. Then, going after the weakest player first is the obvious plan of attack, meaning me. Now then, where could Keiichi-san be? Possibly be. I shan't let you escape. But of course, what would be the best method to track me down? Footprints or smell? Or maybe some type of trail? If I could craftedly hide my tracks, then there would be no trail for Satoko to follow. But I was no detective. Would I even be able to do that kind of thing in an amateur game like this? Tomita Okamura. Have you seen Keiichi-san recently? What the heck? Do zombies hunt their prey by asking nicely where they went? Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun pointed to the location where I was hiding. After confirming she was headed in this direction, I abandoned my position. It wasn't easy to hide myself with all those little kids running around as they pleased. It was becoming even more obvious that I was at a disadvantage from not being familiar with these surroundings. If that's how it was going to be, then to confront this intelligence-gathering zombie, I'd just counter it in a simple vein. I approached some girls playing with a ball. I'm sorry, but could you relay this message? Tell Satoko Hojo that her parents are at the gate, please. Message. Okay. I stopped the girls as they turned to run off. Wait, don't go yet! Also, take this one to Mion Tsunazaki. Tell her the teacher is calling her to the gate. I am quite the schemer, if I do say so myself. If things went well, then Satoko and Mion would run into each other at the gate. It would put me at a disadvantage if more people were it. But this was Mion we were talking about. She'd figure out a way to escape. But that was just fine, as long as it bought me more time. Mwahaha! Dance for me, Mion and Satoko, in the palm of my hand! Having my fill of playing the con man, I looked for a place to hide. If you think about it, logically, I'd only bought myself a scant amount of time. And it might even come back to bite me. Once it became apparent I'd start spreading false information through messengers, I could end up being the recipient of one of those messages. Satoko would probably ask the messengers to help her look for me. That would mean there would be more zombies than participants in the game. The virus that was brought about by my mischief could cause an epidemic. All of my classmates would transform into zombies and would only be searching for me. This tactic might backfire horribly. Well, trembling at the thought of an impending dawn of the dead, I began searching for a safe house. I found a shed by the incinerator behind the school. After climbing up to the roof, I held my breath. It wasn't a bad place to hold out. Not only did I give a good line of sight, but, if necessary, I could jump off in 3 different directions to escape. I was getting rowdy down there. The lower grades were running around below the shed. Mayabara-san isn't around. Is he over there? Nope. Where's Keiichi-san, I wonder? His dad is at the front gate. That was definitely a lie. The word gate, the same one I'd used, gave a hint of revenge. So Mion was behind this. I was still keeping one step ahead of the game. I felt bad for my underclassmen, but they'd have to search until the school bell. Hey, do you know where Keiichi-san is at? His mom suddenly got really sick. A message for Miyabata-san. They said his house caught fire and he needs to come to the gate. A jumbo jet fell on top of the Miyabata residence. The police have come to question him. Anything goes now. They say he enjoys peeping into bathrooms. Hell? Is it true that he's going around every night stealing panties? Who were they talking about? I heard he wears panties on his head and smells them and stuff. No way I would do that. I heard the class representative of Mion was a victim too. What? Gah! This was your doing, Mion! Calm down, Keiichi Mayabata. This is Myon's battle tactic to flush me out. Just hold on. If my underclassmen thought about it logically, they would know it's all nonsense. Small kids don't think about things logically. To them, all of those things were true. So they all chuckled together while looking for me. Hehe! Wahahaha! I win, Myon. It's my victory. Wahahaha! Wiping unresilient tears away, I felt intoxicated by my own victory. Did you hear? I heard that the new transfer student, Mayabara-san, is really a perverted person. Gah! The cost of beating Myon had too high a price. Ah! Oh, someone passed below. That's Rena and Rika-chan. Haha! Rika-chan, you're still okay? I'm getting by somehow. Haha! It seems Mi-chan is it as well. Myon? It couldn't be. She'd become it because of my little strategy? This confirmed that Myon was behind this relentless message war. Then, this wasn't good. We finally got away from Mi-chan, but Satoko-chan, Satoko is searching around the pipes, so we should be safe here for a while. Upon hearing that, I breathed a sigh of relief. Don't do it! It's a trap! While Rena has slumped to the ground breathing heavily, Rika-chan had started creeping up to her. Rika-chan doesn't normally make noise when she walks, but it's strange. It couldn't be. Whoa! Rika-chan! What is it? What is it? How? Don't worry. I had never seen Rika-chan smile so creepily before. But why are you coming closer? Why? Rika-chan isn't a zombie, is she? Don't be scared. I'll be sure to eat you gently. No way! Rika-chan, no! Eek! Rena was pressed up against the wall, and Rika-chan lurched forward with both arms out just like a zombie. Rena quaked with her back pushed up against the wall. It was quite a surreal scene of horror, like one of those zombie breakout videos you'd see. At that moment, Rena's eyes met mine. Keiichi-kun, save me! Zombie Rika-chan turned 180 degrees exorcist style and glared at me. Found him! I see Kei-chan! Kei-chan. Myon popped out from behind the cinder block wall around the garbage dump, also seeing where I was. My position was only advantageous when there was one zombie. Being surrounded was not as good. You said you located Keiichi-san? Keiichi-san? I could tell the Satoko was rushing my way. It seemed that Rika-chan had let Rena escape, and now she was baring her fangs in my direction. Come on down, Kei-chan. The three zombies circled the shed, moaning curses. You guys are scary. Too scary. I wonder how Keiichi-san's guts taste. Keiichi-san! Keiichi, I want you to become one of us. Someone please save me! I saw Rena apologizing to me from across the schoolyard. An apology? Sorry? Leaving me for dead? Rena! I leapt off the roof out of fear, slipping as I landed. Satoko and Rika jumped on top of me, and, after straddling me, they tickled me all over my body. Stop! Stop! So this means Rena is still left. There isn't much time until the bell. Damn you, Rena! How dare you leave me for dead? The feelings of a zombie. I understood how vengeful ghosts with lingering regrets felt. It's sad, so sad, but Keiichi is one of us now. It felt like I'd been bitten by a vampire and was now one of their thralls. It was a strange feeling, being welcomed over to the side that had pursued me. Zombie Chag is quite profound. This is no time to be postulate. We must capture Rena! The principal is walking down the hall. The bell will ring soon. To devour Rena, I, who had been turned into a demon of vengeance, needed to use any means necessary. Except if I wasn't just a zombie. I was the master of night, a vampire. Using that same trick that had tightened the nose around my own neck, I used my classmates to further my own evil designs. I gathered up the lower grades from around the school grounds. Everyone, listen! Rena's in big trouble! All of you, please look for Rena! It's a bigger problem than Jumbo Jet crashing into your family's house? Oh yeah, it had turned into that, hadn't it? Mion whistled nonchalantly, trying to avoid the blame. Yeah, it's not even the same league as Jumbo Jet's. What if what fell on Rena's house was a space colony? A space colony? Yeah, it's a really big disaster. Everything in a 100-kilometer radius is obliterated. But that's only the prelude to this tragic tale. This is only the beginning. The start of a war for independence by the propagandability of Zeon. The lower grades were dumbfounded, their eyes like saucers at the grand turn of events. What will happen? Will the Terrain Federation lose? If things go on like this, they will. Only one person can defeat the Red Comet. That person is Rena Ryugu. The lower grade students gulped. All gulped. It seemed I'd made them fully understand that the fight for Earth was lost without Rena. Now, scatter, comrades! We must find Rena! My comrades in the lower grades let out an enthusiastic cheer and dashed off in various directions around the school grounds. There was still one person who hadn't gone. But I thought even the Terrain Federation's Impulse Wave Diffusal Cannon didn't work on the Comet Empire. You're close, but that's the white variety of the comets. The reason it didn't work was because they didn't know the weak point. Of course, Rena knows their weak point all too well. Ryugu-san is amazing! Satisfied with that, he also rushed off to look for Rena. It does seem like there were some promising up-and-comers amongst the youngsters. Little Ki-chan's abilities, this old man knows them better now. It didn't really feel like she was complimenting me, but whatever. Really though, how exceptional, Keiichi-san. This looks quite promising. If we have this many, we can win. With this many, we will win. I was thinking that Keiichi would have been a better nominee for the initial zombie. Rika-chan's words stung a bit, but I'd let it slide for now. Not even Rena would be able to escape the entire class. As a result of everyone's thorough search, Rena was finally cornered in the back of the sports equipment shed. You're all scary! Keiichi-kun too! So scary! It probably was scary being chased around by the entire student body. All the lower grades closed in on Rena, saying she was the only one who could save the world. What are you all saying? I can't control a mech! Rena! How could you leave me for dead? Are you ready to pay for it? I'm sorry about that, Keiichi-kun, but I didn't have a choice! Do not resist! You let yourself become devoured. Let's all be together! Now, Rena, say your prayers. Mwahaha! Rena had stumbled onto a mat, trembling with tears in her eyes. I closed in, associating this situation with a similar, particularly immoral one, made my pulse quicken just a bit. Stoko and Rika-chan were both wriggling their fingers. They probably wanted to tickle Rena. Rena, wanting no part of what she knew was about to happen, went stiff with fear. Keiichi-kun! You wouldn't do mean things like everyone else, would you? Would you? I wonder... How? Now then, are you ready? Okay, as long as it's Keiichi-kun. The face she had made as she resigned herself to her fate made my heart skip a beat. I believe that Keiichi-kun wouldn't do horrible things to me. Our body will move! That had to be some sort of anti-zombie mantra. The second my sense of reason chimed in, the beast inside me died instantly. There was the bell. Game over. Yay! I did it! I did it! I survived! Yay! Yay! Rena pranced around merrily as if a curse had been broken. Heh! So daylight broke in the nick of time, and evil zombie army disintegrated into dust. And so the heroine survived. Well, that's how it goes in the movies anyway. What are you postulating about? This is all because Keiichi-san was dawdling about. Punishment is required. I was subdued by Satoko and Rena, and once again sentenced to death by 100 tickles. Eek! Look at me! Eek! Then the award for surviving goes to Rena Ryugo and Mion Sonozaki. Yay! Wait, what? Huh? Mei-chan wasn't a zombie? Only pretended to be one. They say you need to deceive your allies before you can deceive the enemy, you know? Mion, you little... Yeah. Hurry up and change, alright? Don't be late for the next class. Let go of me, Satoko! Rika-chan! Gah! Having had my fill of being terrified to my very core by club activities, I solemnly swore I would have Mion crying for mercy next time. Higurashi, when they cry. Alright, so this is where we will end it off. Now, here's a good question. Are we done with Higurashi, When They Cry, Chapter 1, Onikakushi? Not entirely. I'm not sure when I'll come back to this, but I will be coming back to this after I go through the second session of If My Heart Had Wings. At least have that second session go on and then come back to this. Which, if I recall correctly, that would be maybe February or March. Because each session is 8 episodes, which is 8 weeks. So that would be November and December, then January and February. So around March, I will be coming back to this series. Because we haven't gotten to the interesting part yet. Fun, right? We haven't gotten to the interesting part. The Higurashi have not cried hard enough in this series. All they have done is warn of what there is to come. They will cry much harder later in the series. And when that happens, you expect things to go down. So, thoughts on this episode? Again, it was really playful, but we got a bit more insight of what's going on. Because, if you remember from this tip, the Damn Sight Murder Dismemberment newspaper edition, there actually was something else that went on there. We don't know quite yet. Special tabloid report and the Hinamizawa Dam project. So, this series is not complete. We will be coming back to this. And, eventually, we will see the Higurashi cry much more than they already have. Happy Halloween, everyone. See you guys next time. Oh, by the way, a little extra treat for you guys. Tomorrow will be the start. We'll be going back to the Five Nights at Freddy's series with Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And we will start on November 1st. Going to November 8th and November 15th, I believe. So, this has been Psychic Pictures, and I'll see you guys next time.